Hello everyone, and welcome to the ninth Abyss in Japan. This is the second support Abyss, and it is for the skill penalty break, or status break, which reduces the enemy's chance to afflict status effect. The boss this time is Necrophobe. The mental conditions for the fight, as you can see, I've already beaten. I'm doing this intro and post because I didn't record one at the start. I just recorded the winning fight. Anyway, the mental conditions are to reduce Abyss Necrophobe's attack, to reduce the lower right barrier attack, magic rather, and to defeat Abyss Necrophobe before it uses Abyss Hurricane. It only uses Abyss Hurricane if you directly attack him with white magic, black magic, or ninja magic. If one gets reflected onto him, which I didn't think about, that would actually work. If one gets reflected onto him, and he won't counter because he has a counter reflect, so that's fine, you won't lose medals for that. The party I'm using is this one. Fran is just one of my hired, like I have a good soul break for her, so I'm bringing her. Pyro I'm bringing so that he can use St. Cross for DPS, and also because he can use the full holy boosting equipment that I have. He doesn't actually, I don't know why I gave him, like I shouldn't have given him this, he didn't have anything relevant to use, but Ferris I brought because she's one of my best supports. I have a burst for her, but her first soul break gauge went to Protectka from the Blitz helmet, because that's really, really, really important for this fight. The highest damage move, if you're doing the strategy I use, is Necrophobe's Vacuum Wave, which is an AoE long-range physical attack, and if you don't have Protect up, even if you do have Wall, Power Breakdown, and Soul Break on him, he's vulnerable to debuffs, by the way. Even if you have like 3 layers of mitigation up, if you don't have Protect up too, he will probably one-shot your healer with Vacuum Wave if you're doing the fight the same way I did. So I needed Protect up. My healer, I'm bringing Realm because I have her Super Soul Break, which I my best just pure heal. But I didn't bring her as a direct healer. I brought her her job is to use Carbuncle, because there's a lot of single target magic that gets thrown around in this fight. And Shelga, because there's also some AoE magic. Shelga's not as important as Protectka. I would give her Protectka and use a Shelga Roaming Warrior if I could, or not Roaming Warrior, Shared Soul Break if I could, but unfortunately I do not have a Shelga Shared Soul Break in Japan, so I can't do that. And then I have Shout, so Rams is here. Also, he's the best support by stats, and I've level broken him, etc., etc., etc. In order to do the fight, you do need one of each, or at least one of each breakdown, and preferably on different characters, like I have it set up here. Soul breaks will work if they are like full power soul breaks. If they're not maximum debuffs, then they don't work. So it's best to rely on the actual abilities. And then everybody else's second slot is mainly taken up by a damaging ability. This was the best damaging ability I had honed for Fran, so that's what I brought. And then, like I said, this is actually a mistake. I thought, for some reason, I thought I had Sentinel's Grimoire on Cairo in Japan. I don't. I have Cyrus in Japan, not Sentinel. So the reason I didn't give him the Blitz Helm is because I wanted him to have the extra holy damage bonus on St. Cross, which turned out to be really, really useful for the fight. Otherwise, it's just a pretty self-explanatory setup as far as record periods. And then, of course, I brought a wall for the fight. Alright, so And then Necrophobe himself has roughly 327,000 HP. His barriers are essentially indestructible at 3.5 million HP. You won't kill them. Alright, that's the intro. Yeah, no kidding, Talon Knight. Also, the other problem is I desynced my Sentinel's Grimoire and Shout cast, and I'm not casting Sentinels until the start of Phase 2. If that wasn't a Hurricane, it's a Vacuum Wave. The Vacuum Waves are the real dangerous attack in this fight, if you've got Carbuncle up. The Vacuum Wave is the one that comes from the side, or the left and the right. Hurricane disappears right in front of the target. I'm just using Realm's abilities here to, yeah, see, that's Vacuum Wave. And I did not have Protectica up, so that hit really hard. This is probably a reset. I'm charging up Realm's abilities just by recasting the shell there. Oh, well, that was unfortunate. I'm gonna undebuff that one, unfortunately, or undo me. I actually do want all 4 Dooms, I think. Alright, so once these 2 actuals have all 4 Dooms up, let's get Protectica up. Yeah, Ramsey is my slowest Doom person. That's the one I need to keep an eye on. Haste off? Maybe. So I'm liking them hitting him. Haste is not quite off yet, but we can re-slot it here. Alright, defenses are fully up. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, 4 debuff, or 4 Doom damage is pretty good. just gotta watch out for the forcing vacuum moves. Yeah, that wasn't the worst thing in the world. I am going to go ahead and reapply Sentinels here. And I'm going to get one more round of attack damage to reset the dooms. I'll go with them. Yeah, the little guys have 3.5 million health. Oh, hold on 1 second. My dog needs to go out. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. And actually, I'm going to take this moment while I'm paused to go over the fight mechanics. So phase 1 is, there's really no mechanics. It's just get him to like 75% or 80% hit points before he uses Abyss Death and just kills you. 80% points. Phase 2, which is where I'm at now with the 4 barriers. Each barrier is associated with a breakdown. The upper right barrier is a pack breakdown and is red. The lower right is magic breakdown and it is yellow. The lower left is resistance breakdown, mental breakdown, and is green. And the upper left is armor breakdown and it's blue. At the start of phase 2, one of the 4 barriers will afflict a 20-second doom on a character, and that character will start pulsing the color of the barrier that doomed them. And anytime you use the appropriate breakdown on a barrier who hasn't doomed someone, like say the start of phase 2, the red barrier doomed Tyro. If I then used armor breakdown on the blue barrier would respond by dooming someone. For each doomed character, Necrophobe gets an attack buff and a defense debuff. In order to clear the dooms, because they're only 20 seconds, so you're going to need to clear them at least once, most likely. You have to hit, like, again, say the red, I've got the red doom on Tyro. I have to hit the red barrier with an attack breakdown, and that'll clear the doom. However, it will permanently buff Necrophobe's defense. So you kind of have to ride the line. And then after a certain amount of time in phase 2, barriers will just go away, and yeah, more doom equals more damage, less doom equals less damage, correct. After a certain amount of time in phase 2, the barriers go away, and Necrophobe will just start one-shotting your characters once on each of its turns. So I think this is more of a Ultima Buster type fight where you want to finish him in phase 2. Ideally, you never see phase 3. So let's see if I can pull it out this time. I think I've got a good shot at it. I do need to remember to reapply. I am reapplying. Good. I was going to say, I need to remember to reapply. I was already doing. I'm going to go ahead and... Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. I'm going to go ahead and clear my dooms on this round of attack. I'm getting a little worried about there. The timer's on the left ones. She's got green. That was totally not the attack I wanted to use there. The nice thing is with the Doom's cleared, you're not in any real huge danger of dying, unless you're like your wall or something. Ow. Alright, so now I'm reapplying the Dooms. He's not dead quite yet. Alright, so here's our first reapplied Doom. And if a character who is doomed dies, then it resets Necrophobe's buff state. Yeah, that's gonna kill Tyrell. Ooh, no, it didn't. Let's take that back. I guess with only 2 Dooms up, it wasn't lethal. Good. So do I have a yellow up? I do not. And I do have a blue up. Alright, at this point it's like I have to do it within this set of Doom counters. It's attack and magic, although he only has flair for magic, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I like it when the boss does 9,000 damage to himself. So we'll go ahead and reapply Shout here, even though it might scream like I have enough time, but I think I need that Shout. I think it's about to wear off. I was hoping he would flare again. Yeah, see, Shout just, the haste just wore off, so Shout wore off. So that was good timing. It's gonna be real cool. Every one of those helps. Yeah, I'll be able to do it. Tyro's Saint Cross will do it. If this doesn't. Whew, okay. Actually, that wasn't too hard. It was just a matter of figuring out how to fit in all the defenses I needed. And just like with normal Necrophobe, Carbuncle was huge. Okay, don't do this to me. Come on. Okay, there we go. I'm like, don't make me do this fight again. And we only lost one action taken, though. Nice. Okay, so can we actually make this ability?